So you can fuel that monster, or that monster doesn't have to have an existence in me.
It's really, really interesting hearing that perspective again, because, you know, one of my favorite lessons that I've learned is that often the thing that's holding you back is something you're holding on to.
Yes.
It's one of my favorite lessons. The idea that that's holding you back is you're holding on to it. So whether it's a grudge, like you're saying, the grudge monster, or a feeling or an emotion or an idea that you're not allowing it to let go when it no longer serves you. And being able to walk away from that requires real strength and courage. But one of the things that you said about you and your partner, your ex-wife, that I think is really powerful is that when it's just about us, whoever that may be, you're either looking at each other or you're looking past each other. And what you just said is now we're looking in the same direction when it's the kids. Yeah. And so that switch, if you think about any relationship in our life, when we think it's just about us, when it's not about anyone else, you're always going to be against each other. But as soon as there's a higher purpose or there's a commitment or there's a value that supersedes that.
An understanding.
An understanding, yeah.
An understanding that comes with the world of communication and great dialogue. I can, you know, and having this conversation, I can point to so many examples of how it's so hard to see the good if you're only seeing the bad. Like there's so many people that struggle with what their version of success is because they're looking at someone else's. There's so many people that struggle with their world of relationship because they're judging theirs based off of someone else's, right? And when you're constantly in the space of not realizing or noticing your world, your reality, because you're living in what appears to be someone else's, well, your shit is never gonna be right. It's never gonna be right?
Yeah,
like if I'm looking at everybody's relationship with their father and I'm going, I want that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not embracing the world of good that came from my dad. I could have went down the road that my dad did. I could have easily been wrapped into the same world of, you know, drugs, gangs, violence, stick-up boys, right? Like the embracing the hood at the highest level. Not that I don't, because I do. That's where I'm from. But I could have embraced it at a much higher level and followed in the footsteps of my father because that's what he did. But I was able to realize the mistakes he made. I was able to go, well, I don't want to go down that street because I see the consequences of it. That's a choice that I made, right? Some don't make that choice. By the way, no disrespect to those that haven't.